Hello, hello, hello.
Okay, hello and welcome to another episode of Eplw. I'm Joe. Subscribe to this channel to make sure you never miss a live stream again. On this week's show, all your game week results so far, including Liverpool versus Man City. I can't wait to get chatting about that. Man United drew 3-0 with Everton. Villa beat Arsenal 1-0. We've also got Fantasy Premier League tips from the main man, Rosaldinho. And I want you to start thinking of players with double-barreled surnames. Oh my God, what a mind melter. That's going to be our 11 to finish the show. And if you're watching and you've got any suggestions, comment in the live chat box on this page, okay? And if you really enjoy what you're doing, you can also tell us what you want to hear. You can follow us on Twitter at EPLWpod. Okay, tell a friend to tell a friend. We have fun on this. We do it for the love and the passion of it. But we'd love to see it grow and get more people involved in the discussion. Okay, alongside me today, I've got the affable Rosaldinho, as I mentioned earlier. I've got Matt and I've got Mus. How are we doing, chaps? Why don't you introduce yourselves and tell our viewers one thing you can't wait to talk about on today's EPLW. Let's go to Mus first.
Yeah, evening all. I'm Mus. I'm an Arsenal season ticket holder. To be honest, I'm really looking forward to this double-barreled surname 11. Given the way the game week has gone, there's not much for me to be particularly positive about.
Fair enough. Okay, Matt.
Yeah, I'm Matt. I'm a Chelsea fan. I've got to agree with Mus on this. The double-barreled 11 was quite fun to put together, so I'm interested to see what we've come up with.
Yeah, we've all submitted our teams. I've actually done an 11 this week, lads, and it's going to blow your mind. It's going to blow your mind. I'm getting in on the action. It seems like you guys have all the fun doing the 11s, and I just have to, kind of manage the argument between you. But yeah, I've done one as well. And anyway, last but not least, Rosaldinho, Rosaldo, Rosie Ardiles. Hello, Ros.
How's it going? Yeah, I'm all right. I'm slightly struggling today because I think I celebrated Millwall's 4-1 win against Sheffield Wednesday last night a little bit too hard. So my head was a bit cloudy this morning. I've got a cup of tea, pint of water, ready to power on through and talk about this week's game.
Fair enough. Well, earlier on, as you may have watched, if you're watching this, you may have watched the Liverpool-Man City game earlier on. And as soon as, before the final whistle blew, we got a rantalicious Rosie message in the EPLW WhatsApp group. Ros was absolutely vehemently annoyed with Liverpool and how they behaved and what they've done. So, Ros, I'm going to come straight to you. Our first point of order, our first order of the day. Liverpool 1, Man City 4 at Anfield. What was it you said? Liverpool have handed Man City the title on a plate this afternoon.
Yeah, with 3 sets of cutlery just for good measure. I mean, I think I said in a couple of episodes back that if City won today, then that was the title done. And it might have seemed like a bit of a bold prediction. With that now, they are 10 points clear of Liverpool. They've got a game in hand. They are 14 games, not just unbeaten, they've won 14 games in a row. And they've got a significantly better goal difference as well. I totally stand by that. I think what will annoy Liverpool the most is the fact that they kind of gave them the goals almost. Even when it was level, Liverpool still looked a little bit hesitant. They didn't really sort of know how to approach the game almost. But the fact that it was 2 Alisson errors, someone who's been so reliable for them over the last year and a bit.
And what about Mus? What about Man City's main man at the moment, İlkay Gündoğan, which I've pronounced correctly for the first time in my life. I did loads of research. Ros, your Turkish friend was meant to help me out with that. I didn't get any. I didn't get a memo.
Sorry, he sent me a voice note. I just forgot to send it to you.
Oh, thanks.
But you're right. Well done.
Oh, lovely.
The first G is a G, and the second G is more of a W because it's a soft G.
Well, there we have it.
Gündoğan.
İlkay Gündoğan, Mus.
Yeah, Gündoğan. Well, I mean, the game didn't start off too well for him with the penalty that he missed, but he more than redeemed himself in the second half. But I think the story of the game was Alisson Blunderland. And I'll have to give the credit to that one. I'll give the credit to my mate Peter who sent me that on WhatsApp straight after the game. But I think, yeah, him and Foden probably were the 2 standout players for Man City. I went back and looked at the historical results between the two teams, and whenever Liverpool win, they win by the odd goal or two at most. But Man City have done this previously to Liverpool in this fixture. They've won 5-0 in 2017, 4-0 in July last year, and now 4-1. And I think that ultimately tells us they have always had the better team, even when they've not won the title. And Liverpool really need to be at their best on the day to beat them, and they were far from that today. They were infuriating to watch. I've got the Brazil top, just a little homage to Fabinho, who gave away the penalty, and Alisson, who was probably at fault for the 3 goals in the second half. And Alexander-Arnold in particular, I felt was just really disappointing. He, on the defensive side, was poor. Let Sterling get past him for the Gundogan goal, and his passing and crossing were also just really disappointing. I felt sorry for Mane and Salah.
Yeah, maybe we could have a video during the week, because after this, we've not got anything scheduled in until Friday for our preview, our fantasy football show. So maybe I could tempt one or two or all of you guys into a What's Going Wrong at Liverpool episode special during the week. Let's discuss it on the WhatsApp. We're doing this show at the moment. Matt, I want to come to you and ask you a question that I did not think I'd be asking anyone. Liverpool played 23. They're on 40 points. They're 4th at the moment. Everton are 2 places below, 2 games in hand, only 3 points behind on 37 points. Are Liverpool now got to be looking over their shoulder and thinking top 4 is their priority right now? You know, screw winning it. Like Roz said, it's over.
Yeah.
Is it top 4?
100%. They've got to be focusing on getting that top 4, because it can slide. And looking at the form of teams around them, I mean, this season has been a bit hectic anyway. They have to make sure it counts when it comes across, because they could easily drop out of the top 4 and end up fighting with the likes of even West Ham, Tottenham for that last slot. So they really do need to pull it out of the bag now. I know they've had injury issues and such, but if they're not scoring as well, which is like their trademark, their thing, they're risking losing Champions League space.
Yeah. Okay. And well, on that kind of Merseyside switch over, that takes us to Everton's entertaining 3-3 draw with Man United. And I just wanted to draw your attention to Bruno Fernandes's retiring of Tom Davies, as one of you put it. I can't remember who it was in the WhatsApp group last night. Roz.
Yeah.
I think Mus, did you mention that we should have a minute's silence for Tom Davies' football career yesterday?
That was probably Roz as well.
That was me.
Oh, that was Roz as well. Roz, you were on fire. He's celebrating the Millwall win. You must have been a few beers in by that point, mate. So all right then, Roz, let's come to you. Talk us through that goal in case, for any of our viewers who haven't seen it.
So Bruno Fernandes, he sort of flicks it out to the right-hand side, gets it back, and he's maybe 18 yards out from the goal. And he looks as if he's, slightly to the right. He looks as if he's sort of going to cross it. Dummies it and sends Tom Davies to Barbados. I think he's still making his way back to Old Trafford now. Tom Davies sort of takes the dummy, still over there. And the finish was just sublime. I couldn't work out if he'd sort of, there was whip on it, there was spin on it. There was also a bit of a lofted. The way he hit it was just sensational.
It's like he went to the. It's like he went to the ice cream van and he got the sprinkles, the chocolate sauce, and also the whip, the spin, the dip. It was. It's making me hungry actually. For my snacks for the Super Bowl later. Go Bucks! Right. Okay. Do you think something I noticed watching that game, or the highlights at least? Man United are a different class with an actual centre forward. It's like it's all they've needed. Like it's the final piece of the puzzle. Cavani in there. Roz, I can see you grimacing. Matt's smiling. I think he's agreeing with me, so I'm going to go to Matt.
Cavani does bring class. They have. They've never really had out and out strikers for a while. I mean, Martial's okay in a push in that role. Same with Rashford, but they're both better on the left. Cavani does give them that man up front, striker availability. Whether it solved all their problems, I mean, yeah, no, I don't think they're quite all there yet. I mean, 3-3 against 3-0 against Everton kind of shows that they're not all there yet. But he does give them that option up front. He's finishing better than they've done for a while.
Yeah, and maybe Eddinson's flicked a light switch in Solskjaer's head about who he should play up top.
Definitely, and I think at the moment he's probably winning that spot ahead of Martial.
I'm sorry, did no one get that? Or was it just really bad?
No, that's very good. I didn't expect you to put that. Wow. Okay, that's great.
I literally spent the whole time Matt was talking. I missed what he was saying because I was trying to think of a pun to come at you with. But
yeah, I mean,
anyway,
let me pay a little tribute to that pun. There you go. But no, that's very good. I just didn't expect that Thomas Edison to get a shout out in a EPL Weekly. But yeah, very good. But yeah, was there a serious point behind that, or did you just want to make the pun?
I just wanted to make the pun. That's it, really. Yeah.
Fair enough.
I reckon we can move on to something that we're all a bit in the dark about now, and that's Arsenal's transfer policy. Mus, do you want to take it away on this one? Why on earth would we sell Emi Martinez?
So I actually think that this is not the controversial decision that I think some Arsenal fans think it is, because we can't have it both ways. We can't criticise the club for letting Ramsey, Ozil, and the list goes on. Of key players that have left for free, right? That's bad business planning. That's bad decision making. Like, we should have got something for them. So then, when you get a 20 million plus bid for your reserve keeper, who you've made a decision at a technical level is not going to take the number one spot from Leno, then you accept the bid, right? That's good business. It's a club that needs incoming funds in order to subsidise the outgoings. They don't have the spare cash. So he probably, if we think about it as the Martinez deal subsidised the Partey deal, right? Then fine, I'm okay with it. I can live with it. He's a great keeper, and he offers great cover and competition to Leno, but ultimately I think the club just needed the money more than they needed the player, and I think that's fine.
Yeah, okay. And they've managed to, Arteta's managed to trim his squad quite a lot, hasn't he, Ros? We'll come on to that. Maybe I can tempt you guys into another special episode of EPLW in the week. Because we've all done an 11 today, we've got to whiz through this stuff quite quickly. What do Arsenal need to do though, Ros, to get back into the top four, or at least competing for Europe?
I think actually, if you look at their starting 11, or what, without any injuries, their team going forward is, there aren't actually too many weak points there. I think what you're looking for is Aubameyang to find his form again. If you get him scoring you 30 goals a season, you're looking at a different proposition. Ødegaard, I thought, was actually quite good against Aston Villa there. Interesting that he came on with Smith Rowe still on the pitch, so you sort of had two number 10s there. And yeah, I don't think they really need much else. They just need the players they already have to actually start performing again.
Fair enough. Okay. We've had a question in the chat box, the live chat on YouTube. It's come from William. William wants to pose this question. Matt, I'm gonna throw this question at you. Could you see Man United winning the league? And his comment is that Man City look like a well-oiled machine. What do you reckon?
I think Man City have the confidence now. I mean, to take on Liverpool, beat them 4-1 at home, they've got to be the team to do it at the moment. I mean, this season, it's been a bit of a wild one, but again, Man United drawing against Everton really shouldn't have happened. If they want to challenge, that's the team they need to be beaten. So I think Man United are at the chase at this point.
Ros, you look poised.
But no, I wasn't sure. Did I put my hand up? No, I would just defer any viewers to the Man United's defending in particular for the second goal against Everton, which was the James Rodriguez one. They can't clear balls. They have no shape at the back. They can't organise. They're making individual errors, and there's no leadership. But apart from that, the defence is great.
Well, thank you very much, William, for your question. Don't forget to like and subscribe and allow notifications so you never miss a show. Always join the conversation. You can tweet us at EPLW Pod. As always, tell a friend to tell a friend. If you enjoy this and you think you know someone else who might enjoy it, tell them. Let's watch this thing grow. Okay, I'm going to read you a list now of all the game week results so far, and then we're going to head over to Roz for the fantasy football chat. Okay, Aston Villa 1, Arsenal 0, Burnley 1, Brighton 1, Newcastle 3, Southampton 2, Fulham 0, West Ham 0, Man United 3, Everton 3, and then today's games so far. Tottenham 2, West Brom 0, Wolves 0, Leicester 0, Liverpool 1, Manchester City 4, Sheffield United Chelsea kicks off in 18 minutes, and tomorrow night it's at 8 p.m. We've got Leeds versus Palace, the Roz Derby. Okay, Roz, over to you for our fantasy football chat now. Who's your top picks for next week? Who's performed the best this week, and who are we looking at to put in our teams for next week?
So, Edison Cavani was an injury out, but scored a brilliant header. Dominic Calvert-Lewin got a goal and an assist. Bruno Fernandes, of course, with that wonderful goal. I made a bit of a screw up, which was that I did both my transfers on Chelsea players this week, and I've just seen Thomas Tuchel's lineup for the Sheffield United game, and neither of them are playing. I even made one of them captain. So, I was a fan of you. Tuchel, but
You're meant to be our fantasy football expert. What's going on? I mean, I feel the same. I feel your pain because I did the same thing. I actually paid for an extra transfer to round in 2 Chelsea players. The players I've sold, they've done really well this week. Oh, yeah. And one of them's not even starting for Tuchel today.
One thing I will point to, which I did get right, which I'm really happy about, and I hope other fantasy players did the same, was I didn't sell Harry Kane. His price went up substantially from when I first, and when a lot of people first drafted him into their squad. He was a surprise inclusion in today's win against West Brom. So the injury wasn't as bad as people thought, and he's back, and he scored today. I put him on my bench, but I'm glad I didn't tell him.
Fair enough. Do you know what, actually? I've just noticed, I've got my notepad open on my screen here, and we made some predictions on Friday, didn't we, Roz, about how these games would go.
They always go so well, don't they?
Should we have a look at some of them?
Go for it.
So Villa Arsenal, you predicted Villa to win 3-2, and I predicted Arsenal to win 3-1. I mean, Mus and Matt, feel free. Yeah, okay, 1-0. Mus or Matt, have you got a pen handy? Do you want to keep a score here? Keep a tally.
Yeah, go
so
ahead.
1-0 to Roz. Burnley Brighton. Roz said 1-0 Brighton. I said 1-0 Burnley. So we both lost there. That was a 1-1 draw.
No, well, we're a great team, Joe. Just need to collaborate more in future.
Just add our goals up. Yeah. Newcastle Southampton. Roz said 3-1 to Southampton, a win. I said Newcastle win. I said 1-0, but that's a point for me, isn't it?
You brought it back.
Fulham West Ham. We both said 3-0 to West Ham, but Fulham showed some resolve and they got the 0-0 there, so we're wrong. Manchester United Everton. Roz said 2-1 to Everton, and I said 2-2. So is that a point for me?
Oh,
Yep.
Spurs West Brom. Roz said Spurs would win, and I said West Brom would win. Just because I'm a childish Arsenal fan and I can't back Spurs. Wolves Leicester. We both went for a comprehensive Leicester win, so nothing there. Liverpool Man City. I said 0-0, which I was like, as soon as it got to half time and Gundogan had missed the pen, I was like, this is nailed on. But no, they went and did it. Roz said a 3-0 win to Man City, so he gets 1 point for that one. So what does that
I think
put us
that's
at?
a 3-2 victory for me, is it?
Well, 2 games to go.
2 games to go. There we go. Don't count your chickens before they've hatched, Roz, I think the phrase is. Okay, let's move on then to our 11s. And we've all done one this week, so this is going to be quite a busy little segment. What I'll do is I'll pull up the 11 on screen and I'll go through the team, and then I'll come to you and ask you who you, or you know, to justify your 11, and then we'll go through each person's 11. And if you are outraged or have anything to say about it, please jump in and cut across me and tell me what the problem is. Okay, here we go then. First up, it's Roz's 11 of double-barreled players, double-barreled surnames. He's gone for Peacock Farrell in goal. Bit slim pickings in goal, wasn't it, Roz? Maitland-Niles left back, Loftus-Cheek and Wan-Bissaka at centre back. Walker Peters at right. Sorry, I'm reading this for the first time. You've got 5 fullbacks in your team. Walker Peters at right back, Alexander-Arnold holding midfield, Smith Rowe, the Croydon De Bruyne, and Alexander Oxlade-Chamberlain in sort of 10 and 8, and then Hudson-Odoi and Sean Wright-Phillips either side of Dominic Calvert-Lewin. What do you have to say about that, Roz?
That there don't appear to be any decent or sort of high-level defenders, or centre-halves, I should say, at with double-barrel names. There's the Man City player, is it Harwood Bells? He's just gone on loan to the Championship. But I think Wan-Bissaka's more of a defensive right back, so I think he could do a job there at centre-half. Loftus-Cheek, as my, I'm sort of going for like that Mascherano Pep vibe.
Yeah.
Or the Fabinho Klopp vibe. So yeah, got sort of ball playing. He's a big lad, Loftus-Cheek. Alexander-Arnold has been spoken about quite a bit, that he could actually do a job moving into midfield and potentially do some damage there the more his career progresses. Apart from that, I think it pretty much speaks for itself.
Yeah.
Who did I have at left back?
Fair dues.
Maitland-Niles.
Maitland-Niles at left back. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's move on then to our next 11, and this is Matt's 11. He's got Click to Edit in goal. He's got Alexander-Arnold left back. He's got centre backs Chris Bart-Williams, Ledge, the pioneer of double-barreled surnames, Timothy Fosu-Mensah, and Kyle Walker-Peters. In midfield, he's got a questionable Park Ji-sung. I'm not sure. We'll have to adjudicate on that one. And James Ward-Prowse. And then he's got an attacking 3 of Hudson-Odoi, Oxlade-Chamberlain and Maitland-Niles behind Dominic Calvert-Lewin. So, Matt, what are you making of that?
So I have no keeper. I'm just assuming they've been sent off. They've done a burnt nano, so...
All right, mate.
The whole defensive thing, I mean, there's like... Most of them are right backs, right? Like, it seems like you're going to double barrel, you got to play on the right, or at least you can play on that. So, Park Ji-sung, I tried, there's a hype in there. I feel like daily double barrel.
Is Park Ji-sung allowed?
No way.
It's the hype, and it's a bit different thing. Yeah.
I'm down to 9 now.
Yeah, Matt, I wanted to have JJ Okocha, but I thought Joe specifically said double-barreled surname. So I have to
could you have Jemba? I wonder.
I've got Jemba.
Nice. Matt, something I forgot about. Great shout on James Ward-Prowse. I might change mine. Maybe take Croydon De Bruyne out.
What?
Replace him with,
outrageous. No one replaces the Croydon De Bruyne.
That partnership with Ward-Prowse and Chamberlain.
Yeah, James Ward-Prowse. I mean, how could you forget him? And also Jemba. Okay, that brings us on to Mus's team, who's also gone for the Arsenal kit. Nice one, Mus. Trying to get my good books. In goal, this is where the fun is in goal, isn't it? In goal, he's got Derb Al.
Yeah. So I was going to go for Edit here, who Matt chose, but then I thought I'd go for I remember that Irish international who played for Derby County in the late 90s, Savin Durball. I don't know if you remember him. I'm just kidding. I made him up, Savin Durball. I could not think. I didn't want to cheat. I didn't want to Google someone, so I just made someone up. Okay, hands up. But, that aside, I've gone for some...
Hold on, I'm the only one with an actual goalkeeper.
Yeah, well, mate, we haven't done mine yet.
Yeah, well, that's true. Yeah. I've gone for... Well, actually, most of the players have already been picked. But I've gone for, Eric Jemba, so good they named him twice in midfield. Oxlade-Chamberlain on the far left. Colin Kazim Richards supporting
Yeah.
DCL up front. Yeah. And in case you're wondering why Andre Villas-Boas handed in his resignation at Marseille last week, it was because he wanted to manage Hyphen FC.
Love that. Love that. Okay.
Brilliant.
I'm just going to run through that team in full one more time, Mus, if you don't mind. So, where is it? Here it is. Derbal in goal. Wan-Bissaka, Maitland-Niles, Fosu-Mensah, Alexander-Arnold across the back. Oxlade-Chamberlain, Jemba, Loftus-Cheek and Ward-Prowse across the middle. A straight 4-4-2. Colin Kazim-Richards and Dominic Calvert-Lewin up front. Why do I keep doing that? I'm stuck doing it now every time I do it. So yeah, that's Mus's double-barreled 11 FC managed by Andre Villas-Boas. Great shout as well there. Okay, I've done a team, lads. I've got an 11, and we've got time to do it. What are the odds?
Hey.
Let's see it.
Okay, here we go. This is my 11. In goal, I've also gone for Bailey Peacock Farrell of Burnley, isn't he? He's like Burnley's third or fourth keeper. I've gone for
He was formerly at Leeds.
I've gone for Ryan Nouri at left back, Wolves left wing back. Fosu-Mensah, and I've gone for Zambo Ungisa at centre back. Alexander-Arnold at right back in his natural position, not in centre mid. Come on. Oxlade-Chamberlain and Ward-Prowse in centre mid. Smith Rowe in the 10. Hudson-Odoi and Chris Bart-Williams on the right wing because he was an attacking midfielder. And up front, ready? Dominic Calvert-Lewin.
Can I just quickly ask, only because you've riled me up and not the fact that I played a few players out of position there. Everyone that's picked Timothy Fosu-Mensah, tell me a good game that he had. What's the best game you've seen Timothy Fosu-Mensah have?
He's a
Yeah.
centre back.
Okay,
double barrel.
But what I will say is, even though some minor out of position, all great players.
Yeah, fair enough. I went for Zambo Ungisa at centre back purely because he's got a double-barrelled first and surname. He had to get in the team, and there's nowhere else he was getting in.
Yeah.
Andre Frank Zambo Anguissa. What a name. Obviously, the Croydon De Bruyne has to be in there. My favourite player of all time of the last few weeks.
Although he's weird, Joe, because he doesn't have a hyphen.
I was just
talking about this the other day, weren't we?
I was just going to come on to that.
But he's got Smith. Right, what's that about?
Well, I'll tell you what it is, Rowan. It's because Ros, Rowan, whatever your name is. I'll tell you what it is. It's because he's really cool. All right, he doesn't have a hyphen in his double-barreled name. He also has his socks. Like, he may as well be wearing those little trainer socks that you wear to make it look like you're not wearing socks. He may as well be wearing them. Apparently, because he's cool, and that's what the kids do because they're cool. Obviously, Chris Bart-Williams, the pioneer, notable absentee as well. Nigel Rio-Coker, honourable mention. Who I mean, he gets props for going to the US as well. You know, late in his career because the home of the double-barreled surname. Mus.
Sorry, speaking of honourable mentions, I wanted to give an honourable mention to the Crystal Palace, I think, legend and central defender Fitzhall, aka One Size
Fitzhall.
Any name that's an intrinsic pun has to get in.
Oh my days! I think you're setting us up for a pun 11 next week, Mus. Be careful. That does bring us to, unless anyone else has got any other business. Any other business?
Did anyone else have Sean Wright-Phillips?
Oh no.
Nobody else have Sean Wright-Phillips. I don't remember hearing him. Great player. Unbelievable player. Played Chelsea.
Yeah.
I mean, is he better than? He played for Man City as well, didn't he? Chelsea and Man City. Can you think of any? Who else played for Chelsea and Man City? Lampard straight in there. Yeah, I mean, Matt, this is kind of your subject here as the resident Chelsea fan. No pressure. Who is it, Matt? Who is it?
Sean Wright-Phillips had this great knack of arriving at clubs post-takeover. So
I thought you were talking nightclubs for a second, sorry.
Well, I've never been. I mean, I know Bradley better. I've never been out with Sean, but you know, he arrived at Man City like pretty soon after the takeover. Same with Chelsea. Same with QPR. Probably, yeah. He's got a great agent. Oh, they've got money.
I found out his son is actually, I think, in the Man City academy. Sean Wright Phillips has a son.
Yeah, I know.
He's like 19.
Does that make you feel a bit
Ian
old?
Ian Wright had him when he was about 22, which means that Ian Wright is now a granddad at the age of about early 50s.
Isn't Sean Wright Phillips? Wasn't he adopted?
That is just interesting.
Yeah.
Isn't Sean Wright?
Speaking of
Yeah, go on.
grandkids, actually, did you hear? Was it? Sorry, Joe, you go ahead. I'm going to think. It was a Lazio player, the great grandfather of Mussolini, I think.
Wow, blimey.
Is now in their team. Did you guys see that?
I didn't, but I do know that everyone's favourite bicycle volley specialist, Paolo Di Canio, West Ham legend, is a fascist and has a Mussolini tattoo, which nobody ever talks about.
Yeah, I mean, there's that big fascist connection.
And celebrated a goal to Lazio fans with a Nazi salute. But West Ham are a nice club. They were quite locals.
Okay, right.
That horrible Millwall we want to worry about.
Well, just on that point, Joe, about Mussolini's great grandson now playing for Lazio, I've checked and he is actually right wing.
Right, well, thank you so much for bringing that round back to football somehow. Remind me never to do any other business again at the end of a podcast. Jeez. We've ended up talking about fascism, literally. It's EPL Weekly, guys. You're all going to get a dressing down after this in the changing rooms. I'm going to kick football boots at you. I'm going to get hair dryers out. There's going to be lasagna and pizza going everywhere. Right, lads, thank you so much for joining me this week on EPLW. Remember, if you're watching this and you've enjoyed it, please subscribe to the channel. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Hit the like button. Drop a comment in there. Share the link. It does wonders. We get more people in the conversation. The show becomes better and better. And thank you for watching. Thank you for supporting. Should we do a synchronized wave, lads? Or should we do? Let's do Wayne's World. Can we do Wayne's World like this? The mega happy ending. Right, come on then, everyone. All right, see you later.